I will soar. I will fly. I will be everything I can be on this day and the next. I will soar. I will fly. I will be everything I can be on this day and the next. I will soar. I will fly. I will be everything I can be on this day and the next. I will soar. I will fly. I will be everything I can be on this day and the next. I will soar. I will fly. I will be everything I can be on this day and the next. Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform to become your spiritual server. This is your S.O.A.R tarot reading for today, April 4th of 2018. Thank you all for joining me. And let's just see what's in the cards for today. Let's see how you will fly, how you will soar today. Or perhaps you feel like you're just hopping along on the ground. Perhaps you feel like you're learning how to fly. That's okay. No matter where you are, just go at your own pace. Just go at your own pace. Don't worry too much about the outside world. Come into your heart. Come into that inside space, alright? And just do the best you can with your given circumstances, alright? That's all you can do. I promise you, you'll be alright. Alright, so I'm pulling the target card just out. We have the target card is the Page of Pentacles. This is interesting. We have the beautiful peacock there. So this is actually about establishing oneself and one's craft. And, you know, the Page of Pentacles is a very studious gentleman. He's a very studious person. So this could be an earth sign that helps you today, either a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. But what I see this as is someone who is eager to learn and eager to, you know, pursue their craft, but is not just going to rush right into it. It's not just going to just, you know, they're excited and they want to learn, but at the same time they know that everything is a process and that things take time. So today what you're going to be embracing is the energy of this Page of Pentacles, where you have this craft that you are developing, but it does take time for things to manifest. You're not just going to rush right into things, okay? All right, so let's see what other cards we have to support this. For the sensation, we actually have the Six of Swords in reverse. For the obstacle, it's interesting, we actually have the Empress. Alright. Alright, for the action, we actually have the Two of Swords. And then for the resolution, we have, interesting, Two of Wands. This is very interesting. Okay. What's going on here? Well, the Six of Swords usually talks about travel, usually talks about leaving an old situation behind, but since it is reversed, I think in this case it's really talking about perhaps there is a situation that you have been mulling over and wondering if you should leave behind, but maybe all of the issues and the problems with this thing just exist within your own mind. This is a sword suit, so it does talk about air, so let's talk about the mind. And there are a lot of times where we can trap ourselves within our own mind. So you've been sensing perhaps that there is a situation that you have to leave behind, but perhaps what you have to leave behind today is this old thought pattern, this old way of thinking, and these old behaviors that are creating this illusion that everything is wrong, that everything is bad, and that you have to leave things behind, all right? It's the sensation. The obstacle is the Empress in reverse. So the obstacle is about tapping back into our own nature. And the Empress card, you know, she rules over nature. As you can see, she also has the Astrology wheel here, at least in this card, you know? And it's interesting how it is reversed in this, which is signaling the fact that the obstacle is about tapping back into our heart and tapping back into our nature. The obstacle is being able to come back into that silent space so we can actually quiet the mind, and so we can look at our world and our experience, and we can look at our situation from that higher vantage point of unconditional love. And once we can look at it from that higher vantage point of unconditional love, we will be able to see any incongruent or inconsistencies as far as our thought process goes. Like I said, we have the Six of Swords reversed, so it's a situation that we feel like we have to leave, but maybe we don't have to leave it. Perhaps what we have to leave is the outside world for a moment. Perhaps what we need to leave is this chatter and all this static. And what we have to, the obstacle is learning to come within today. It's learning to silence all of this and come within and then to seek that inner nature. The action, it's interesting how we have the Two of Swords, which is known as the stalemate card. We have this being here with this blindfold on, and then we have these two swords. What I believe is that these swords are actually going to separate, and there's not going to be a stalemate anymore. But then it's interesting how that's the action card, but then we have Two of Wands that comes right afterwards. So it's like, it's interesting how we go from the Two of Swords, which means that the stalemate, this thing that's blocking you, opens up, and now you have one of two paths to take. And this might give you some anxiety, this might give you some apprehension, because now you're wondering, what path do I take? You're wondering, this is really what I see is that one of these paths is going to lead back around to this point, because it's just the old way. It's the old way of thinking. It's the old way of being. It's the old behaviors that's going to lead you back to the same point. Or you're going to have this one path that's actually going to promote this energy right here, this Page of Pentacles energy, where yes, it is, the page is youthful and they still have a lot to learn, but they want to move things forward on their own time, at their own pace. And yes, they have this craft that they want to push forward and develop, and they know that it takes time. So this is a very studious person. It's a very studious energy. So what's happening here is leaving behind this old way of thinking, this old way of seeing our world and seeing our reality, this old way of projecting all of these insecurities onto the outside world. That's the Six of Swords. And then with the Empress, we had to learn to come within, to silence all of that, and to come back into our general nature, our soul's nature, the nature of Source. Come back into that place of unconditional love and radiate that outwards. Once we do that, the swords will come apart. There will be no stalemate within your mind. You'll know what to do to move forward, but then you will be confronted with one of two paths. Do I go down this path of new beings and new behaviors and, establishing one's craft, or do I go down this old way, which might give you a false sense of security at first because you've been down this path before, but it's just going to lead right back around to the same spot, and you're going to manifest a lot of the things that you manifested before, and you're not going to really fulfill. But if you go along the other way, if you decide to, have the new thoughts, to implement that new behavior, to implement the patience as well, to establish one's craft, then you will create a life that is more fulfilled, that's more abundant, that is more in line with your source. Okay? And that is your Sword Tarot reading for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And of course, remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, stand. Yahoo! Smile often.
Please try to understand that I'm only human. I may make mistakes at times, but I'm only human. I may hurt people, but still I'm only human. I may get depressed at times, but I'm only human. I refuse to believe that I'm just only human. I'm a product of God, I'm more than human. I can overcome anything cause I'm more than human. My objective is changing lives cause I'm more than human. I'm more than human.